Hi everyone, so in this video I'm going to talk you through what the individual multiphonic pages kind of look like and everything that you can do with them. So without further ado, let's dive straight in here. Okay, so here's the main page of the database, and each multiphonic in the database has its own page where you get a little bit more information. So you kind of get the basics here, but you can't play the recording from the preview menu. So when you click on each multiphonic, you get obviously the fingering diagram, and the fingering diagrams can be exported really easily by clicking this button here, and then you can save an SVG file of that fingering diagram. And SVGs are of course really useful because they're scalable, they have transparent backgrounds, and you can just add them straight into Finale or Sibelius or Dorico or whatever you happen to use, and they should be really nice and clear for players. I've made quite a reduced fingering diagram, so if you know your fingering diagrams, you'll notice that the little finger or pinky keys are missing on this side, and the fork E flat is missing as well because that's repeated here in the trill keys. So we only get one instance of each of where each fingering can be, if that makes sense. Everything you need is there. That's the main thing. And then after that we have a recording. So each multiphonic has a recording. There's a little, there you go. You'll notice that a lot of the diagrams have multiple pitches. This one's got quite a lot actually. But what you'll hear is you'll hear me in the recording moving through each of these harmonics. So when you print the pitches in your score, you should pick one of these harmonics for the clarinetist to listen to, because it's very rare with one of these multiphonics that you'll really be able to hear all of those pitches, and it really helps the clarinetist to use their ear if they know what they're aiming for. So if you print the whole diagram, it's just confusing because it's not clear whether we really want the top pitch to come out or if we just want this beautiful soft fifth or what. So I think that's really important, that you really listen to the recordings. And if I can just say one other thing about that, and I know I'm going to be banging on about this a lot, my decision to do this by fingering rather than by individual multiphonic, like I could have had 4 different entries for this fingering and made each one a separate one, but I really wanted you as composers and clarinetists to be able to see how you can think vertically about multiphonics. But one of the weaknesses of deciding to do things that way is it means that things like the difficulty rating need to be taken with a little bit of a grain of salt, because generally as you go up the harmonics it's going to get more difficult. That's a sort of general rule. There are going to be exceptions to that. And also things like dynamics are a little bit, need to be taken with a grain of salt. Like dynamics here, I've marked it pianissimo to piano, which I think you can get a piano dynamic on all of these top harmonics, definitely, but you could also play them a bit louder, but that diet is only going to work at a piano dynamic. And that's true of all close dyads like that. Okay, so moving on, we have all of these tags, so you can filter by these characteristic tags on the main page, and then each one of these are clickable. So if I click on one, we're going to be taken back to the main page, and you'll be able to see all of the multiphonics that have that tag. These related trills are trills that I have put in, things that I think trill really nicely. It's kind of my plan to eventually record all of the trills and have those in as recordings eventually. That's a really big job, but that's something I really want to do. But another way you can find different multiphonics that you can step to is by using the similar fingering search. So this will open the search, the fingering search diagram with this fingering tapped in, and then it'll be set to a tolerance of 1. So it'll find anything that's one finger different. So you might be able to find some good trills from that actually. But I would check those with the player, because sometimes it'll find things that are kind of awkward to trill. Yep, and then we have the rating. So if you're in as a composer, you're going to be able to set the rating. I'm only in as a clarinetist at the minute, so you can always change this in your profile settings. So I can change what I think the rating is. So I've got my rating here, and then we've got a kind of like hopefully growing crowdsourced rating here. And composers, I don't know what 4 out of 5 stars is going to mean for you. I guess it's going to be really like subjective, but I thought it would just kind of be a nice fun thing. And then at the very bottom, I also have any related blog posts. So as you may be aware, I've had a blog on my website since 2011 where I've talked about clarinet extended techniques, and that's free, and that will stay free, and that will always be free. But if you want to learn more about how this multiphonic and others like it behaves, there might be a related blog post. For quite a lot of the multiphonics, there are related blog posts, although not all of them. Is there anything else I need to show you? So you can share individual multiphonics. It'll give you a link that you can copy and send to a friend or a teacher or a clarinetist who's hopefully also a friend. And the other thing you can do is you can add them to lists. So I've got some of my testing lists up here, and I'll show you the list function in another video at some point, but you can add things to your own lists, and then you can play multiphonics back and you can move them around. And then you can add them to this favorites, which I guess is a bit like lists, but I thought it would be nice to just have a kind of favorites button as well. This is an editing button, which is just for me in case I need to make a change. So I hope that gives you a really good idea of what's going on with the main kind of multiphonic page for each multiphonic, and they all pretty much look the same. I can show you maybe one from the bass clarinet, so you just get a sense of like, the only thing that changes here really is the fingering chart. So the fingering chart looks quite different, but otherwise it's pretty much the same. There are 2 related blog posts for this one. Nobody's rated anything. I mean, I haven't made the app public yet. It will probably be public by the time I make this video, but nobody's rated this one yet, but otherwise everything's pretty much the same. So hope you enjoy, and I can't wait to show you more features and how they work. Yeah, okay, bye.